Mazzara to second, and he has a leadoff double.
Nomar Mazzara is the unsung hero of the Rangers offense.
Bouncer up the middle, that's a base hit. 2 scores, Mazzara has cracked this one open.
In the shadow of an all-time great, climbing the ladder on baseball's hit list.
And there it is, number 3,000 for Adrian Beltre.
Overlooked because of a young stud launching baseballs high and far.
Takes a massive swing and launches this ball, and where will it land? Wow.
Nomar's production lacks attention.
And he hits this ball hard to center field. Davis going back, looks up, gone! A grand slam for Nomar Mazzara.
And that's why this 23-year-old is the silent assassin for the Texas Rangers.
Well, he has been one of the great stories of the season for the Texas Rangers, and Nomar Mazzara heading them into battle tonight. Rangers and Red Sox, 3rd game of our 4-game series tonight. Welcome in, everybody. Great to be with you once again. I am Dave Raymond alongside Mr. Ranger Tom Grieve, and Nomar Mazzara was a story last night, providing all the Rangers offense with 1 swing. Unfortunately for the Rangers, that would not be enough to overcome what has been a very good Boston offense.
It's a really good offense, Dave. It's a young lineup. They have young established stars. They have young developing stars. The last 5 games, they've scored 31 runs. They've hit 13 home runs, swinging the bats very well. Mookie Betts starts it from the leadoff spot. He leads the league in hitting. He's hit 11 home runs in his last 14 games. J.D. Martinez at 342 anchors the middle of the lineup. From top to bottom, pretty tough to pitch your way through this lineup.
Yeah, not many holes in this Red Sox lineup. If there are any tonight, well, the hope is that Cole Hamels can find it.
Well, the good thing is Cole Hamels is throwing the ball very well. His strikeouts per innings is higher than it's ever been in his career. His record doesn't look good, but he hasn't gotten a lot of support so far this year. Against the Red Sox, he's 4-1 with a 2.68 ERA. Hopefully tonight the Rangers will score some runs. If they do score some runs, one of the guys that will probably be responsible is Delino DeShields, who ignites the Ranger offense from the leadoff spot. He's had hits in 8 straight games. Over that period of time, he's hitting .371. He's raised his overall average to .293. He's done it by spraying line drives from foul line to foul line, beating out an occasional bunt, and occasionally showing long ball power. Really good leadoff hitter right now for the Rangers.
Well, maybe he can set the table for the big chill. Nomar Mazzara, home run last night, had some significance. He's in the spotlight. Rangers baseball is sponsored by Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today. Ford is the best in Texas.
Sometimes I just can't even feel the ball when I hit it. You know, when you hit it that hard, sometimes you just gotta see it because you can't even feel it.
got to be a pretty good feeling. You hit it so hard that you don't even feel it. And that's where Nomar is right now. And what a nice little run he is on for the Rangers these days. We put him in our Shiner Box spotlight. And part of the reason why tonight, it's been a great start to the year for Nomar, but how about this? He's homered in 4 straight games now, and when you think of Rangers who have done that before the age 24, there's only one other dude on that list, and he was pretty good himself, Juan Gonzalez, at age 22, Tom.
Yeah, at age 22, Juan Gonzalez in 1992 hit 47 home runs. Nomar's hit 20 in each of his first 2 years. And while you don't want to put any labels on a season, I would say that he might be on his way to establishing a new high in home runs. He's hit 6 already. He's hitting them to all fields, showing great power to the middle of the diamond, left center, right center field, making solid contact. Looks like he's poised to have a good, solid home run year for the Rangers.
Well, the start has been a good one for Nomar, and now tonight, hoping he can lead them to a win over this Red Sox team. 23-9, Boston Red Sox, and their lineup today starts with that man, Mookie Betts in right field. Andrew Benintendi, the center fielder, bats second. Hanley Ramirez, the DH. J.D. Martinez again in left. And it's Xander Bogaerts, Mitch Moreland, the former Ranger, at first. Eduardo Nunez second. Rafael Devers at third. And Christian Vasquez, the catcher, rounds it out.
Take a look at Cole Hamels' pitch arsenal. Cole mixes his pitches up extremely well. He'll use a fastball 36% of the time, a cutter, which really is a fastball, cut fastball, almost 30% of the time, an excellent changeup, and a solid curveball. And I think, Dave, when you look at Cole this year and see 47 strikeouts in 39 innings, one thing that has been really evident all season long is his off-speed pitches have been excellent for him. He's getting a lot of strikeouts by way of the off-speed pitch, whether it's a slider, curveball, or his changeup.
Well, he gets the first one in there for a strike to Mookie Betts. Underway tonight on another just spectacular evening. And Betts hits one high in the air out to left field. That one carrying back to the wall, but Rua with just enough room out there to haul it in for out number 1. And yeah, that'll make you smile.
That one made you nervous in a lot of ways. First of all, it's Mookie Betts who's hit 11 home runs in 14 games. And the question is, did he get another one? Got in on him just enough to where he couldn't hit it 400 feet. And then you see the outfielders coming together, and right at the end near the wall, Ryan Rua reaches out and spears it when it looked like it might hit the ground. Cole has a little bit of a smile. He knows Betts just missed it, and very happy that Ryan was able to run that down and make the play on it.
Yeah, that was quite a heart-stopping way to begin this one tonight. Andrew Benintendi swings at the second pitch of his at-bat, sends it right to Joey Gallo, and there are 2 quick outs here in the first.
Let's take a look at the Rangers defense, which is delivered by New Braunfels Convention and Visitors Bureau. Ryan Rua, who just made the catch against Mookie Betts, is in left field. Delino's in center. Shin-Soo Choo gets the start in right field. Nomar Mazara will DH. Renato Nunez is at third. Joey Gallo is at first. Up the middle, it's Jurickson Profar and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. And behind the plate is Robinson Chirinos.
Hanley Ramirez now, and looked like he was taken all the way, watches a pretty good fastball, just a smidge low. Ramirez, good overall numbers in his first 29 games of the season, and he takes another ball, 2-0. 34 years old now. Hanley Ramirez, though, still hits it as hard as anybody with consistency. And he does some good damage against lefties. It's now 2-1. He's hitting .357 against left-handed pitching.
There's one good example of why Cole has been tough to hit this year. Had the strikeouts that he has when he's behind in the count. The changeup has been a really nice pitch for him. Ramirez swung at that, thinking it was going to be a fastball, was way out in front of it. Here comes the fastball at 93 miles an hour, and he wasn't quite ready for it. You throw the fastball on the 2-0 pitch, he's dead red looking for it, ready to go, but he got the changeup instead. Now he's not quite sure what it's going to be. It's 2-1. He's already thrown me a changeup. He might want to throw me another. Before you know it, he's throwing the fastball right by you.
2-2, and he throws it by him again with the heater. His first strikeout of the night. Hamels perfect in the first on 9 pitches. So now the Rangers, Delano to Shields to try to set the table. Looked really good, and now the Rangers will go to work. Delano to Shields, leading it off in center field. Shin-Soo Choo gets a start in right today, bats second. Kiner Falefa at second. Nomar Mazar the DH. Then it's Joey Gallo, Jurickson Profar, and Renato Nunez at third base. Chirinos catching, Ryan Rua in left field for the Rangers. All against the 25-year-old Eduardo Rodriguez. Rodriguez just celebrated a birthday about a month ago. Left-hander, 6'2". And the first pitch, or rather the next pitch to the Shields. Lifted high in the air out to right field, but room out there for Mookie Betts.
Let's look at the pitch arsenal for Eduardo Rodriguez, the left-hander for the Red Sox. A lot of fastballs, 55% fastballs. Throws a changeup, the most of his off-speed pitches. Mixes in a slider and a cutter. Slider will break a little bit more than the cutter, be a little bit slower than the cutter. The guy doesn't get a lot of ground balls, more of a high fastball, fly ball pitcher than he would be a ground ball pitcher.
Well, he gets Choo here. Shin-Soo Choo at 252. Coming in, batting in that second spot on the order again, and he watches this one in. Choo was 0 for 3 yesterday, but did walk. In fact, has found somewhere or another to reach base now in 5 straight games, and he's in a hole 1 and 2. Left on left here, Eduardo Rodriguez, who made his big league debut in this ballpark several years ago. Back to almost to the day, just about 3 weeks from now, the end of May in 2015 was when he made his big league debut. Went 7 2/3 innings, allowed just 3 hits, 2 walks, struck out 7. A very impressive start at the time for the rookie left-hander. His 2-2, and Choo takes low. Rangers just did not have a whole lot going yesterday. They saw Rick Porcello. He was good through 6 innings. Bullpen for the Red Sox took care of it from there. Rangers never sent more than 4 batters to the plate. in any inning, and there's called strike 3. So Chu down looking, and there are 2 gone.
Second baseman, number 9, Isaiah Kiner.
Take a look at the Red Sox defense. J.D. Martinez is out in left field again. Andrew Benintendi plays center field. Jackie Bradley Jr. has the night off. Mookie Betts is in right field. Rafael Devers hit a couple of home runs last night, is at third base. Xander Bogaerts, Eduardo Nunez again at short and second base. Mitch Moreland is playing first base, and Christian Vasquez is behind the plate.
Now the bases are empty for Isaiah Kiner Falefa, and he hits this ball hard. Look out up into the stands. Ooh, pulled that up in there sharply. 0-2 the count. Isaiah yesterday 0 for 3. There's 1 hit in the series so far, and today batting in the 3rd spot of the order. Shoots this one now the other way. A little pop up into the seats. Kiner Falefa has hit safely now in 12 of the last 16 games. His average over that stretch, 306. Here's the 0-2. And a comebacker handled by Rodriguez, and that will make for a short bottom of the 1st. So he counters with a very good inning of his own. 1 scoreless inning in the books.
Well, Dave, as you well know, this team hasn't had a whole lot of breaks go its way, with so many guys going to the disabled list so early in the season. A lot of people wondered how they would respond off the field, and also too in the clubhouse. You know, Adrian Beltre, Elvis Andrus, Rougned Odor, kind of the guys in charge of setting the tone in that room. But it really has been impressive to watch the younger guys step up in that regard as well. Guys like Joey Gallo, Nomar Mazara, making sure that there's a good clubhouse environment, especially for the new guys who are coming up, so they can experience that for the first time and see what it's like.
Yeah, it's funny, Emily, as Martinez bloops one down the line foul. We talked about a lot of spring training, Em. You pointed out that it was the young guys who were taking a leadership role and assuming control of the team at the time. We didn't know during spring training, though, that it would be such a big deal that all the veteran guys would be down.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's something that, you know, these guys have talked about, not just individually, but as a group, that they want to maintain, you know, that level of leadership when those guys are gone, and they just didn't know, like you said, it was going to come so early.
A little fly ball out to right field, and J.D. Martinez turned back here in the 2nd inning. one away.
Yeah, one thing that's pretty evident early in the game, it's only 4 hitters, is Cole has an excellent fastball tonight. Coming into this game, 5 of 40 strikeouts against right-hand hitters were with his fastball, only 5, and he got Hanley Ramirez with a high fastball. He's touched 93 miles an hour already, and that fastball to J.D. Martinez got in on his fist and jammed him and resulted in that little blooper to right field. There's another one at 93 miles an hour. First couple of games, his fastball was more along the lines of 90 miles an hour, maybe 91. Tonight, he's throwing a lot of fastballs too. Only threw 1 off-speed pitch in the first inning. That was the changeup on 2-0 that Hanley Ramirez swung and missed at. So that's a good sign. Looks like Cole feels good, popping his fastball. Good velocity and good location so far.
Well, he's continued to stay on that 4 days of rest throughout the rotation. This is his 8th start of the year. And the foul tip makes it 1-2 on Xander Bogaerts. I guess that's the thing to me, Tom, is you observe here the fastball seems to have just a little more pop, a little more zip to it today. And it's not because he'd be any more fresh than usual. I mean, he has stayed right on schedule with every start. In fact, 104 pitches his last time out at Cleveland. Fastball hit well down the left field line, but not going to carry. It'll hit the base of the fence. Stays in play for Rua, but Xander Bogaerts with his 10th double of the year.
You know, over the course of a season, you get 33 or 34 starts. It stands to reason you're going to feel great in some and not so great in others. That looked like a cut fastball that didn't reach the location that Cole wanted. Stayed up into the middle of the plate. Fortunately, Bogaerts got a little top spin on that, sunk and hit the wall. I was watching the game Garrett Cole pitched last night for Houston, and he's pitched well all season long, but last night, last pitch he threw was about 98 miles an hour. He struck out 16 in his shutout, and that was a game where, as well as he's pitched all season long, that was his best stuff all year. Some days you just are feeling it, and as the pitchers like to say, the ball was coming out of my hand and it felt great, and it's going where I want it to, and hopefully that'll be the case with Cole tonight.
Dealing with his first base runner of the night in Bogaerts. 1-0 to Moreland. A little bit in, 2-0. Not good to see Mitch Moreland again today. Did not play in the first 2 games of this series. In there today against the left-hander. Talked to him earlier today. I said, have you ever faced Hamels? He said, no. I've never seen him before. Of course, Hamels spent the better part of his career in the National League. It was just funny that Moreland, the left-handed hitter, would get his 1 start against a left-handed starter, especially one of Hamels' level, and the count 2-1.
Yeah, they really don't have another right-handed hitter that you would play tonight. I guess you could play Blake Swihart maybe in the DH spot. Sandy Leon is a switch hitter. Swihart's a switch hitter. Jackie Bradley's a left-hand hitter. He's getting the night off. So Mitch drew the call tonight, and he's been hot lately.
Yeah, and he's a guy who hurt the Rangers last year. 356 average, and you know, with a minimum of 5 games last season against the Rangers, Moreland was one of the tougher on them, and his teammate Andrew Benintendi was the worst. It was Benintendi, although he grounded out earlier. 2-2 and another foul ball. Moreland got off to a tough start this year. He was 0 for his first 12, which when you look at his overall numbers, you just saw him a moment ago, and Tom, you mentioned he's off to a real nice start. But you take out that 0 for 12, he's 21 for his last 53, nearly a 400 average. 6 doubles and 4 home runs since that start. And he runs the count full.
Yeah, Mitch looks great too. Looks like he's in best shape I've ever seen him, and he's always been in good shape, but he looks maybe a little bit slimmer right now.
Full count now with Bogaerts out at second base. Three-two. And he lost him, so Moreland takes the walk, his 8th of the year. Brings up Eduardo Nunez.
When you're in a good hitting streak, you're generally seeing the ball well, which allows you to lay off close pitches that when you're struggling and you're a little over anxious and you're trying to get a base hit, you tend to expand the strike zone, help the pitcher out. But when you're seeing it well, you're not quite as tempted to swing at close pitches that aren't strikes.
Nunez reaches out, taps it back to the mound. Hamels high to second. Profile there to back it up, fortunately, and that probably saved a run. Looked like a potential double play to get out of the inning and nearly turned into a disaster. Nunez will be on via the fielder's choice and likely an error.
Yeah, Cole's going for the double play. He just wheeled and fired it to second base. Unfortunately, it sailed on him. But fortunately for him, Profile was there to keep it from going into center field.
So a lot of good news, bad news stuff going on there. That is a fielder's choice and an E1. Allowed Moreland to get in safely at second base. So Bogaerts, Moreland, and Nunez third to first for Rafael Devers.
Well, Cole's been tough on left-hand hitters lately. They're one, counting Benintendi, 1 for 14 against him. Well, hopefully Devers will have some problems against the lefty in this game. He was right on Bartolo Colon last night. A couple of line drive home runs to right field, one of them in the upper deck.
One strike pitch, swing, and a foul tip, 0-2. So this was last night.
Yeah, the first one was a laser beam 5 rows deep in the upper deck. Next one, he reached for it, hit a little bit off the end of the bat, but still well enough to get into the Ranger bullpen. One of the young, developing potential stars for the Red Sox. They really have a fairly young lineup when you look at Betts, Benintendi, Bogaerts, and Devers, combined with the veteran Hanley Ramirez. JD Martinez is more of a veteran than a young developing player who's already a star. Mitch been around for a while, veteran presence on the team. Eduardo Nunez hadn't been with the Red Sox very long, but he's been in baseball for a long time. Well, they've got a good combination, veteran players and young developing stars.
We'll check that swing. Ooh, he did. 2-2.
He was tempted to go after that high fastball. And looks like he checked his swing. Good call.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases loaded. And the pitch to Devers. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That is a big strikeout for Hamels. His 2nd of the night.
Well, he got him to check his swing on a high fastball, and the velocity and the location of that fastball sets up the changeup. And you can see Devers swung before that ball ever got to him. I mentioned this already in this ball game, but Cole's off-speed pitches have been really exceptional this year. His changeup's been excellent. Cutter, I think, has been better than it was last year. Curveball, locating him much better. That's one of the reasons he struck out almost 11 batters per 9 innings, 10.7 to be exact, which is 9th in the league. Strikeouts per 9 innings.
Well, now we'll go after Christian Vasquez. Does the catching today, bats 9th. Vasquez had the day off yesterday, but in the opening game of the series on Thursday night had a couple of hits, drove in a run. 1 strike pitch. Strike 2 called. Good fastball. Red Sox have Xander Bogaerts at third base. He got on with a double. Mitch Moreland walked and moved up. He's at second base. Eduardo Nunez reached on the fielder's choice and error. It's a mess out there with the 2nd inning. But Hamels trying to clean up after himself. And the 0-2, he just got a piece of it.
And no balls and 2 strikes. Excellent location with that pitch. Mentioned his strikeouts per 9 innings, 10.7. That's almost 4 strikeouts per 9 innings higher than it was last year. And you see Cole's record at 1-4. A lot of that is the product that he's received such bad run support behind him, but he's been throwing the ball really well.
0-2. Blocked back there by Chirinos. Well, Vasquez, there really aren't any weak spots in the order for the Red Sox, but Christian Vasquez, a 200 average, would be the closest you could find. He had a great year last year offensively. He's regarded as one of the better defensive catchers in the game, and that's why he plays as much as he does, not for the bat, but again, a good year last year. The 1-2 pitch, man, that crowds him a little. Hamels has had to work a little bit. 25 pitches already here in the second. You mentioned the strikeouts, Tom. They are up this year, and he has been impressive with those, but he has said on a number of occasions he'd just as soon get quick outs.
Well, he's averaging 17.5 pitches per inning, which is high. So I kind of hear what he's saying right there.
2-2, and this one shanked over to the right side, out of play. 34 years old, and of course a tremendous career. Hamels, a no-hitter in the career, a World Series MVP back in 2008. He has been terrific for the Rangers, and in particular a lot of success in this ballpark in his career. 2-2, and a high pop-up right field. Chu wants it, and that'll do it, and the Red Sox leave them loaded in the second. We played 1.5, no score.
With a walk. 1-0 pitch. There's a flare out to right field, and there it is. Hit number 3,000 for Albert Pujols.
Pretty cool. Pujols with number 3,000 last night, and yeah, definitely the big story. Look what that does. 3,000 hits, 600 home runs. That's a pretty nice group of players right there. Aaron, Mays, A-Rod, and Albert Pujols.
I was watching his first time up when he was going for 3,000. Gene Segura was playing about 10 feet back in left field, and he hit a line shot right at him and almost handcuffed Segura. I would love to have seen the exit velocity on that line drive. It had to be between 115 and 118. Hit it right straight at him. And he's in good shape this year. He's healthy. I heard him in his interview after the game saying he feels so much better than he did the last couple of years when injuries. He was still playing, but they didn't allow him to be the kind of player that he expected to be, even though he had pretty solid years. But this year he's really swinging.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Nomar Mazara. Yeah.
He has to be in pretty good shape this year because he has to play first base. He can't DH all the time. Ohtani, when he plays, when he hits, is gonna DH.
Time called. Nomar steps away from the plate. It's not just an amazing year and accomplishment for Pujols, but my goodness, his career. 1-2 pitch outside. It's 2-2. Jason Stark, one of the great writers from Philadelphia, now works for The Athletic, and he dug up a pretty interesting note about Albert Pujols and that accomplishment last night. 2-2. Mazara pops this one up. Third base side. Devers will give it a look. No room. So when you think of what Pujols did over all these years, in an era of great power, and of course the strikeout no longer a big deal. How many times in his career do you think he struck out 100 times or more in a season?
I've looked at that before, and I know it's pretty remarkable. It's 0. I didn't realize it was 0, but I knew it was pretty impressive. I can remember a time when we played them last year making note of his strikeouts and walks over the course of his career. That is remarkable for a power hitter. It's the way a lot of the power hitters used to be 50, 60, 70 years ago, but not the way most hitters are today. It's unusual when you see a guy that walks almost as much as he strikes out. Mookie Betts is almost that kind of a guy. He's not a big strikeout guy. Early in the season, but he's walked 13, struck out 13 this year. But so many times you'll see 47 walks and 160 strikeouts. It's almost a given today how much guys are going to strike out. But it is a remarkable stat for Albert Pujols.
2-2 to Mazara, and he'll shoot this one over third, but foul.
And that's one thing Nomar has done, especially against lefties and especially with 2 strikes, is wait and try to hit the ball to left field, especially if it's away from him. And by doing that, it's allowed him to be much more effective on left-handed breaking balls in 2 ways. One, to hit them when they're good pitches to hit, and the other is to take them and not swing at them when they're curving out of the strike zone.
So much better against lefties this year. Fights off another good pitch. Keeps this at bat going. We'll be ready for his 9th pitch of the at bat here in a moment. No score, bottom of the 2nd. Mazara leading things off for the Rangers here after Boston just left the bases loaded a moment ago. The 2-2 inside, and it's a full count. So on the list of other, obviously Hall of Famers with 3,000 hits and 500 home runs, you guess how many others went their entire careers without ever striking out 100 times in a season?
1.
Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron.
Yeah.
He never struck out 100.
Yeah.
Wow.
3-2. A swing and a miss. Well, great battle right there. Mazara went 10 pitches, but Rodriguez ended up winning it.
It looked like he threw him a changeup the way it came off his last 3 fingers. And pretty good sinking action to the changeup. Looked like Nomar swung over the top of it. Yeah, Joe DiMaggio didn't hit 500 home runs, but I love looking at his statistics. I believe he actually had more home runs than strikeouts in his career. He had years where he struck out 30 times, 38 times.
Joey Gallo now in the 2nd inning.
Strikeouts were obviously looked at much differently back then. I think if you go back far enough, hitters were embarrassed when they struck out, took a 2-strike approach up there, did everything they could to make contact with 2 strikes, even if it took away some of their power. Nowadays, with strikeouts so easily accepted, You can't tell sometimes whether a player has a 3-1 count or an 0-2 count based on the way that they swing. I think the idea is that analytically it makes sense to go for the extra base hit, go for the home run, because it outweighs the risk of striking out.
Gallo takes way outside. Joe DiMaggio, 361 career home runs, 369 strikeouts.
Wow. He must have played, how many years did he play? He must have played over 10 years.
That's 13 years.
13 years. So he averaged less than 40 strikeouts in a season.
And to your point about the strikeouts to home runs, there were a number of years, obviously, where he homered more than he struck out. 2-2. I think it was his second year. Yeah, second year in the big leagues. DiMaggio, 1937 with the Yankees. 46 home runs, 37 punch-outs. And this ball blasted down the right side. If it stays fair, it is gone.
Did it get the popcorn wagon?
I think he flew the wagon. Number 11 for Joey Gallo. Rangers strike first tonight.
I think he's already hit more balls in that general vicinity than any player we've had. Joey got a pitch out over the plate, put that home run swing on it, got it elevated with solid contact off the barrel of the bat, and see if we can track where it ended up. Couldn't actually see it. Couldn't tell. Must have gone just to our left of the second deck out there.
And we're not the only ones looking for it.
When you're out there buying your popcorn or whatever they're selling out there, you don't expect to get hit by a baseball. But I guess if Joey Gallo's at the plate, you better be careful.
1-1 to Jurickson Profar. Well, big distance on that home run, Tom. How about this? 466 feet. Left the bat at 117 miles per hour.
Wow.
So there you go. Those might be the biggest numbers we've seen this year.
117 is the highest I remember on a ball hit that high, for sure.
Broken bat roller foul. Profar loses a bat here. And 2-2 the count.
Ball hit right off the handle, and thank goodness there's a screen back there.
So new bat and a big smile for Profar. We'll see if this one has a hit in it. 0 for 4 yesterday, but 7 hits in the last 7 games. 2-2, ground ball right side, playable for Nunez, and that is out number 2. Now, Rangers fans, we invite you to download the Fox Sports Go app and take Rangers baseball with you wherever you go. If you can't catch the games on TV, you can still stream them live on your mobile device with the Fox Sports Go app. Presented by T-Mobile. Oh, man. She's already locked in on that one. Hands barely big enough to hold the phone. Well, here is Nunez. That one crowds him a little. Nunez, 130 average. Renato, just his 10th game now with the Rangers. Claimed off waivers from the Oakland A's. And he takes high, 2-0. Nunez has been used somewhat strategically and sparingly at third base, a little bit in left by the Rangers. Rangers claimed him in mid-April from Oakland. Last couple of years, played a handful of games at the big league level with the A's, less than 10 each of the last 2 seasons. And he has done some damage though at AAA, and a guy who, you know, there's no question has a lot of power and a lot of potential to put up big power numbers. And in that he comes from the right side, it's very appealing for the Rangers. Inside, that's ball 4, and he walks here with 2 out. First free pass offered tonight by Eduardo Rodriguez.
Well, Rodriguez has a nice record. He's 3-0. He's had 5 starts. The Red Sox have won all 5 of those starts. But he hasn't pitched exceptionally well in a number of those games. His last 3 starts, he's given up 10 runs in 16 innings. The Red Sox are still 2-0. He's 2-0. The Red Sox have won all 3 of those starts. Well, they've scored a lot of runs for him.
Boy, Chirinos lifts this one high in the air, but foul left side. A long strike.
Last year, Rodriguez started 24 games for the Red Sox through 137 innings, struck out 150 batters. A little high in the walk totals, but the strikeouts have definitely been there. And he's had more than a strikeout per inning so far this year, too.
Nunez leads, and that one a little bit low and in. Well, Rodriguez, the other thing that he had done is he'd been really tough on lefties, had allowed just 1 hit to a left-handed batter this year. That is until earlier this inning when Gallo hit his. I mean, you could chop that one up into 3 or 4 hits. A massive home run to right field. 1-1 pitch, and this one off the handle foul. That's 40 pitches tonight now for Rodriguez, so they're already starting to pile up on him. Chirinos batting 8th tonight for the Rangers. Sits safely now in 7 of his last 9 games. It's helped lift the average a little bit, though still well below the Mendoza line. But over those last 9 games, a .265 average for him. 1-2, and he strikes out swinging. So the inning is done, but the Rangers score first tonight.
Well, they scored first on Joey Gallo's home run. Came off the bat at 117 miles an hour, went 460 feet, right down the left field line near that popcorn wagon. After 2 innings, that gives the Rangers a 1-0 lead.
back with the Rangers on top 1-0 over the Red Sox. It is time for our progressive fan of the game. And guys, this one is a year in the making. These two guys are twins, turning 10 today. Well, last year, Patrick got the fan of the game. And this year, I decided to make good on, I mean, they're twins. I got to give it to them both. But William has been so patient, waited an entire year to get his progressive fan of the game. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And thanks for being so patient.
Thank you.
That paid off. Attaboy. Happy birthday, guys. As we go to the third inning here, top of the order for the Red Sox, Mookie Betts hit a deep fly ball to left field in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Hamels looking for that outside corner but can't find it. 2-0. Well, Betts, 365 average coming into play, 13 home runs. 2-1, and he is well, I don't know, Tom, when he comes up, where do you even start with what he has done this year?
I guess you just start wherever you're looking and keep on going.
Just keep naming off the ways in which he has dazzled everybody. Fly ball to center, and DeShields is there, and that is out number 1. Well, that's a story right there. All right, 1 away. Time for a Chevy game break. Let's check in with Rick Renner. No. Fouled by Benintendi. I don't know, Rick.
The easy answer when you ask for any player, the easy answer is just say no.
I mean,
how many guys are going to get 3,000 hits?
I mean, let's just calculate the odds, right? You have 32 guys who have done it in the history of the game. About roughly what, 20,000 guys have played Major League Baseball, so you know, the odds are long as Benintendi flies out to left field, 2 away.
So I wonder what Las Vegas would lay the odds that Mike Trout will get 3,000 hits. Is it 25%? I don't care who it is. It's not a lock because so many things.
No.
You got to stay healthy and play forever.
So I don't even know. I only know like a sliver of this story. But Bill James again. It's 2 nights in a row he's made our broadcast. He says that Nick Markakis has a 28% chance.
Oh wow.
Now I don't know how he comes to
well,
that number.
he's farther along than Mike Trout because
Right.
he's played longer.
Right.
I guess he has to look at staying healthy, body type. He uses the whole field. He's not a big strikeout guy. I don't think Markakis walks a lot. I can't remember, which gives him an extra bet if in fact that's true, which I'm not sure. But that's interesting.
Well, he's got over 2,000 hits right now. He's almost at 2,100 hits, Markakis. But I think he's like 33 years old. I don't. Let me see.
Well, here's the thing about that. I don't think you would look at Nick Markakis as nice a player as he's been as a Hall of Fame type player. But if he plays long enough and gets 3,000 hits, I guess you have to revisit that, don't you?
It's always been a magic number. I mean, it's hard to turn somebody back with 3,000 hits. But I think that would be a good test, right? If Nick Markakis hung on long enough to get 3,000 hits, I think we'd all be sitting around saying, oh, geez,
I say yes. I say he's got to go in the Hall of Fame.
All right, so
I don't think I've never felt it was fair to penalize someone when you say, well, yeah, the only reason is he played so long. You know, if he's had longevity and been durable and been able to do that, that's a good quality. I don't think you should be penalized for that.
No, I tend to agree with that, although I do feel like there's a way to get to 3,000 hits, right? And you know, there are guys who, like, if you hang on, let's say it's been your last 2 years hitting 215, you're a shell of what you once were, and you know, you get to the finish line. I don't know.
Or the guy that plays for 30 years and gets 100 hits every year, it'd be hard to say that guy's a Hall of Famer.
Well, Ramirez shoots one through an open right side of the infield for a base hit. Second hit of the night for Boston. That brings up J.D. Martinez.
Outfielder J.D. Martinez.
I think it makes for an interesting argument.
Well, we ought to ask Bill James. He's the one that has looked at the odds and said they're 28% that Nick might get 3,000 hits. I wonder if Bill thinks he should be in the Hall of Fame.
JD Martinez swings a miss. I saw something the other day.
I've heard he listens to every one of our broadcasts,
Yeah,
so he's probably listening right now.
Well, he's a big Red Sox guy,
Yeah.
but he's probably
listening to Jerry Remy.
Yeah. But the other day he came out and said something about, he's been making the news a lot lately, something about Bryce Harper not being a superstar player in his opinion.
Wow.
And I thought, now that to me, that smacks
I don't know how
of
you
somebody.
can win the MVP and not be a
I don't get it either.
superstar.
I don't understand how he gets to that conclusion, but so he's managed to baffle us a few times in the last couple of days. Ramirez at first, 2 out, the 1-1, and that in the dirt. Hamels 2 strikeouts so far tonight, 1 walk. He's allowed the 2 hits. 50 pitches into the night. And he has been Mr. Consistency for the Rangers this season. Their opening day starter. And a swing and a miss makes it 2-2. Mentioned earlier how good he has been here at home. And he really has excelled in this ballpark over the years. Since being acquired at the trade deadline a couple of years ago. Taking a long look, and long enough that Martinez wants a break. Our Kubota power stats, in fact, reflect the very thing we're talking about. Hamels in this ballpark 17-7. Almost a strikeout per inning pitched. So really, really good numbers. For the longest time was the all-time winningest pitcher here, at least in terms of winning percentage in this ballpark. Full count now on Martinez. JD Martinez, big addition to this Red Sox team. Consider this, last year from the All-Star break of last season until today, Martinez 38 home runs, that's second most in all of baseball, and his 97 RBIs most in all of baseball. And pokes this one foul just to stay alive. Missed over 40 games last year with an injured right foot, that Liz Frank ligament, I think it's what you call it. I don't know what that is exactly, but I think it's kind of an ugly deal. Only played in 119 games as a result, but hit 45 home runs. Great power hitter. The 3-2 pitch. He swings and misses, strike 3. So Hamels gets a strikeout at each of the first 3 innings, and they've all been shutout innings. Rangers lead 1-0. Josh Abbott Band. They're going to be performing a post-game concert tomorrow afternoon, presented by Budweiser. Coming out to the ballpark. Final game of this series with the Red Sox at 2:05 first pitch. And then the concert immediately afterward. Don't miss the Josh Abbott Band, presented by Budweiser, live right here at Globe Life Park. Tickets and field passes still available at texasrangers.com/concerts. Well, here's Ryan Rua. And he takes the ball from Eduardo Rodriguez. Rua batting ninth, first at bat of the night here. Ryan has hit safely now in 9 of his last 11 games. Now we have seen the offense, which really sputtered to start the year. It has come back to life a little bit. (2-0), and Rua swings right through it.
Both pitchers have featured some really good changeups early in this game. Cole got the strikeout of J.D. Martinez with a changeup. A nice changeup right there to Ryan.
On the corner, it's 2-2. So Rua with the start against the left-handed Rodriguez. Gives Drew Robinson a night to get a break. 2-2 on the way. And strike 3 called. Close one, but Rua, I think, realizes that was a pretty good pitch.
It looked like a cut fastball. Back door. Started out outside. You can see him cut the ball. It breaks just enough to catch the outside corner. His fastball is around 92. That cut fastball is around 87. 5 miles an hour less. Hitter thinks it's going to be outside, and it just comes back and catches the corner.
So back to the top of the order. Delano DeShields swings at the first one he sees. And that one not going to work out for him. Mookie Betts is right there, and there are 2 away. All right, how about a word now from our friends at Southwest Kia?
$250 down, $250 a month or less on select new Kias in stock, only at southwestkia.com.
Okay, here is Shin-Soo Choo, 0 for 1 with a strikeout, back to the first. Rangers have a winning record over their last 9 games, 5 wins, 4 losses. And you know, it was a 4-11 start to the season for Texas. That put them in a hole. Since that time, they've played roughly 500 baseball, 9 wins, 10 losses. Part of it again, maybe a little bit of life in this offense and some adjustments. I mean, this is a team that has had to adjust to some big injuries. Rougned Odor, Elvis Andrus, Adrian Beltre, a third of their starting lineup on the disabled list, and Choo in a hole 1 and 2. Today, Rougned Odor is on rehab. His first game as he works his way back from the hamstring injury, playing in Frisco as the DH tonight. And we'll have an update on him as we move through the broadcast here tonight. But that's good news. Choo swings and misses, and didn't have a real good feel against Rodriguez in that at bat, and the left-hander authors a 1-2-3 bottom of the 3rd. We head to the 4th inning, 1-0. Here in the fourth inning, Xander Bogaerts. This was in the second, first hit of the night for either team, and a well-struck double by Bogaerts. Came with 2 strikes in the at-bat, and it's closed on. That should be no real surprise.
The Red Sox hit well when they have 2 strikes. Bogaerts, Brock Holt, Mookie Betts, all in the top 10 in that category. Red Sox don't strike out a lot. They have good at-bats. They're not quite the same team maybe of several years ago, where when they used to play the Yankees, the game would last 4 hours because they took so many pitches. They're not taking at that same rate. They're swinging a lot more often when the ball's in the strike zone. And they're having a lot of success. Last 5 games, they've hit 13 home runs, hit 10 doubles. They got a lot of guys that can do extra base damage in their lineup.
Well, this is where apparently Bogaerts likes to be. 2 strikes in the count. Did he check his swing? Yes, he did. Dan Bellino, the first base umpire, says he did not go.
Let's look at this one. I'll give that one to him. Good call, Dan. Right at the breaking point for me as far as the strike goes. I guess I would have called it a check swing as well.
2-2 now the count. Yeah, that is absolutely as close as you can get right there. Well, that guy, Dan Bellino, he'll have the plate tomorrow in the day game. A swing and a miss. Bogaerts strikes out to start the 4th inning, and that is the 4th punch out tonight for Hamels.
And it's another off-speed pitch. You can see it come out of his hand, the last 3 fingers. That's the circle changeup that he throws. It's been a good pitch for him tonight. So often that pitch is tempting, but not a strike. The hitter's not only fooled by the change of speed, but also by the location. Cole's had a lot of swings and misses at that pitch this year.
Well, he walked Mitch Moreland in the 4th inning, the only walk he has allowed so far tonight. Moreland, you can see it, 323 coming in.
People have heard announcers, analysts talk about the circle change, and you can see it with that slow motion replay easily. And the circle refers to the little circle that a pitcher makes with his first finger and his thumb, and then holds the ball with his last 3 fingers. The circle's on one side of the ball. The 3 fingers are what he throws the ball with, and you throw it just like a fastball. You throw it as hard as you can, but because of the grip, the ball can't go as fast. It goes whatever, 6 to 10 miles an hour slower than the fastball. If you just hold it like a fastball and throw it slower, the hitter will see that your arm doesn't go as fast and know what it is immediately. So the purpose of a good changeup is to find a grip that allows you to throw it the exact same way you throw your fastball, just as hard. The ball just doesn't go as fast because of the softer grip that you have on the ball. Some guys try a circle change and can't throw it anywhere near the strike zone, so they come up with a different grip to accomplish the same thing.
2-2, and a little tapper right side. Easy hop for Gallo. With Hamels covering, they retire Moreland 2 away.
Remember a while back, Benji Gill played shortstop for the Rangers, and he was a really good pitcher in high school, and he threw a changeup. He called it his Vulcan changeup. It was like a split finger pitch, only instead of splitting his first 2 fingers, he split his second and third finger. So you got 2 fingers on each side of the ball. And he taught that to Danny Patterson, who was one of the Ranger relief pitchers. And for a number of years, Danny had a lot of success with that changeup. When you watch the ball, it looked like any other changeup. But if you could slow it down and watch the grip, you saw the unusual way that he gripped it. And he learned that from Benji Gill.
Two outs here, and the pitch to Eduardo Nunez. Bouncer third base. Good backhand stop. Nunez a throw to first in time. And the inning is done. A 1-2-3 for Hamels. Hey, after the break, a truly inspirational story of Haley Dawson, who's on a mission to throw out the first pitch at all 30 Major League ballparks. Emily Jones will have her story coming up next.
One to nothing, and a very cool story happening here at Globe Life Park in Arlington tonight, and it involves a girl that we're going to talk to in just a moment named Haley Dawson, and she was born with Poland syndrome, which stunted the growth of her hand. It left it non-functioning, but thanks to some very smart students at University of Nevada, Las Vegas, they made her this really cool 3D glove that she can wear. She made it her mission to throw out the first pitch at every ballpark in Major League Baseball. Today was her turn here at Globe Life Park. We are thrilled to have her here today. Haley, what has this been like for you?
It's been amazing to me.
Yeah. Where did you get the idea to want to throw out the first pitches?
I don't know.
It just came to you?
I can answer that for her.
Yeah, absolutely, Mom.
She asked to throw out the first pitch for the Orioles when she was 5. Okay. So that's how it started.
And now you're going to get a cool glove every place you go. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. And Texas is your favorite so far, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I appreciate your honesty. Well, Haley, we are so very proud of you. How did you feel about the first pitch? Were you nervous?
I felt great.
Well, you know what? You should feel great. You killed it, girl. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for being with us here today. Can we get a Go Rangers?
Go Rangers!
That's what I'm talking about, guys.
Thanks, Emily.
Hey.
She had a lot of fun. Did a nice job with her first pitch. And that is a really cool story. Those, what do you call it? 3D printers, right? That make those hands for her, those prosthetics. It's really amazing. And she's got quite the collection so far as Nomar Mazara takes one from Rodriguez off the plate. So here you go. Twitter provides us everything we need. This one's for you, Rangers. And she's been preparing for this one for a couple of days. Haley Dawson. It was a strike, I can tell you that much. 1-1 on Nomar. Now she can relax. She did her interview. She can get to having the cotton candy and whatever else she needs. 1-1 pitch. And that one finds a corner to Mazara. Now Nomar, a guy who tends to kind of keep a low profile despite his great size and prodigious strength. Lately he's had trouble hiding though with all the home runs he's been hitting, and he lines that to third. What a play by Devers.
That's getting robbed. You're up there against a lefty who's throwing a nice ball game. You've got 2 strikes, trying to put the ball in play, get a high fastball and hit the ball that hard the opposite way, and then see Devers lunge and take that base hit away from you. That goes down as an 0 for 1. Rodriguez appreciates it, but that was a nice at bat and a well hit ball. Bad feeling for a hitter to hit one like that and end up without a hit.
So now Gallo And Gallo right now represents all the scoring in this game. Huge home run in the second that he just yanked down the line. That's on that Mazzara line drive right there, 101 off the bat. This was in the second inning from Gallo.
Boy, you can just feel the strength when Joey takes his swing. 117 miles per hour off the bat. 466 feet.
2-1. Yeah, even if Chester Cheetah had a glove on out there at the popcorn wagon, he wasn't getting that one. Man. I wonder, those guys maybe set up shop out there. Those fans stop right on the concourse out there. So, you know, this is kind of a hot spot for Joey.
They're definitely watching.
Yeah, see, I think that you're looking at some of the smart fans right there who are like, look, we're going to get a home run out here. Yeah, there you go. Bring the glove.
When Joey hit the first one, I don't believe everybody was as attentive to the ball game as they are right now.
It was just the second hit Rodriguez hit allowed to a left-handed hitter this year, and it's 2-2. Very high. It's full count. And so far tonight, the only hit that Rodriguez has allowed to anyone. And that is strike 3 called. So that Gallo watched a pretty good one. That's a tough at bat. Inning is done. Yeah, even the skipper not psyched by that one. We go to the 5th. It's 1-0. $1 hot dog coming up. It's going to be Wednesday. Rangers and Tigers, final game of that 3-game series. Coming out to Globe Life Park. It's a 105 game. And then you get all the ballpark hot dogs for $1 each that you could possibly want. TexasRangers.com for tickets or 972 Rangers. Rafael Devers, 8th place hitter. Leads things off here, and he takes one low. Devers, big, strong kid. Struck out in the second inning, 0 for 1. Just 21 years old. Whoa, big swing there. Yeah, that's right.
Hurt. That hurt watching that swing.
Woo. Hey, Reggie Jackson, good to see you.
That's his best swing. I don't know if it's best swing, but his hardest swing anyway. Well, it might be hard to see that one.
Rua coming in. Whoa, Rua gets there to make the play.
Ryan just kind of coasts after him to make us nervous, and then right at the end sticks out his glove to make the play. He had that one against Mookie Betts in left center field, first batter of the game. And this one, he sees it all the way. Checking out where the other fielders are, and right at the end, snares it in foul territory. A lot of things to consider going after that ball. You've got the tarp, the wall, the other players that are converging on it. Ryan called it, and as the outfielder, the other guys get out of the way, which they did, and then he made the play.
So good to turn Devers back. Here is Christian Vasquez, and he shoots this one up into the seats. Vasquez 0 for 1, flat out to right field in the second inning. And that dropped his average under that important number. He's now dipped below 200 at 198. And that was an important out, a big play. And the bases loaded with 2 out in that second inning. The previous batter, Devers, had struck out. And then Hamels able to avoid any serious damage in the inning when he got Vasquez to fly out to right. 1-1. One of those moments you may go back and look at later in the ball game and recognize as maybe one of the key, if not the key, moments of the game. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Now Hamels has the run of support so far here tonight, but you look at how things have gone this year. Only Lucas Giolito getting fewer runs of support in the American League. So when you get out of a bases loaded jam like that early on, I mean, every run is so critical when you're Hamels, at least based on what the guys have been able to provide him as support.
Yeah, this would be his 8th start of the season, and as of right now, this is the 5th start where the Rangers have 2 runs or fewer.
It's payoff pitch. And Vasquez takes low, so Hamels walks the 9th place hitter, which a lot of times you note that when it happens because it's never part of the plan. But even worse, it's not just your average leadoff man coming up here. It's Mookie Betts, who Hamels has retired twice tonight, but Betts, as powerful a hitter as there is right now in baseball, and as locked in as any player in baseball. Hamels moves him off the plate. You look at what Betts is leading right now, all of Major League Baseball. 13 home runs, the 34 runs, the average slugging, on base plus slugging, 25 extra base hits. Those are the ones we could fit on the graphic. 2-0.
He's got a chance to score a lot of runs this year with the hitter, as much as he gets on base with the hitters behind him, and the fact that he'll probably drive himself in 35 or 40 times this year.
Well, 3rd time through the lineup now for Hamels, and a ground ball third base, and that one gets through. Nunez just whiffed it. Vasquez heads to 3rd. He'll be there safely. Betts all the way to 2nd base. Yeah, just as the Vasquez fly out in the 2nd was a big play in the game. That error right there by Nunez could end up being a huge play.
It looked like he had a great chance to turn a double play, even with Mookie Betts running, because it was hit so hard. But he just didn't get his glove in the way of the ball. The ball just went underneath his glove. It looked like it was a bad hop. It looked like he just missed it. Might have been thinking about getting rid of the ball quickly to 2nd base and taking his eye off the ball right at the end.
So now Andrew Benintendi, and Chirinos a great job of blocking that one. Ball 1.
Well, 2 errors in this game might end up costing Cole Hamels a couple of innings pitched. If he had made a good throw in the second inning, the possibility of a double play was there on the ball that Nunez hit back to him. After that, he probably had to throw 10 or 11 more pitches.
Little flare up the middle, off the base. Backhanded out there by Kiner Falefa, but nothing he can do with it. That's a base hit for Benintendi, and the game tied at 1.
Boy, that's about as unique a hit as you can get. Cole got the ball right in on the fists. Benintendi hit that little looping ball. It comes down right on top of the base.
I mean, I guess it could have been worse, right? If it hits an edge of the base and then clangs off at an awkward angle, but still, that is just remarkable.
I think it was hit so slow that no matter where it hit, it wasn't going to go too far. But back-to-back batters, potential double play, and then that little blooper.
Well, Betts had to hold second, so it does keep the forced play at any of the 3 bases in order, and a chance for a ground ball and maybe 2 here with Hanley Ramirez up there. 1-1 our score. Good pitch for a strike, 1-1 to count. So a walk to the 9th place hitter, a 2-base error by Renato Nunez, and then a flare of a base hit that bounces right off the middle of second base. Qualifies as a snake-bitten inning right there. 1-2.
It's conceivable that both errors in this game will end up costing Cole somewhere between 15 and 25 pitches in this game. Just part of it.
Hamels and Chirinos in disagreement over to what to do right here with Hanley Ramirez. Rangers have the lowest fielding percentage in the American League coming into play. It's not always a perfect indicator of how good a defense is, but it's an indicator nonetheless. And it's not going up tonight. So a mound visit here. It looks like Hamels pretty emphatic about what he wants to throw. Pretty big moment. Right in the middle of the ball game. The 1-2. And that's downstairs.
I'd say the majority of Cole's strikeouts come either on a breaking ball or a changeup. Although in the first inning he struck out Ramirez on a high fastball.
Said 1 strikeout in every inning so far. The 2-2. Narrow miss. And a full count now on Hanley Ramirez. That means that Hamels will throw his 20th pitch of the inning. Ramirez and Hamels have the most familiarity with one another. You take all the matchups in the game today. Ramirez, long time in the National League. And the pitch to Hamels, right back to him. He'll go to second one. The relay to first, double play. There it is. Cole Hamels got the comebacker this time and able to turn the double play.
Well, in a jam after an error and a walk and a little cheap hit, Cole Hamels is able to induce the little ground ball and turn the double play to get out of this inning and keep it a 1-1 ball game.
Heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
All right, bottom of the 5th inning. New ball game now, 1-1 the score, and Jurickson Profar leading off for the Rangers. It'll be Profar, Renato Nunez, and Robinson Chirinos here in the 5th. Eduardo Rodriguez has pitched really well tonight and puts that one on the corner. It's 1-1. Profar grounded out in the 2nd. And he takes a high strike here, 1-2. We mentioned earlier that this guy, Eduardo Rodriguez, made his big league debut in this ballpark in 2015, end of May in 2015, and went 7 2/3. One of the better starts he's had in his career. And upstairs, Profar couldn't stop. He went around, and that is strike 3. One away. All right, time for a Chevy game break. Let's say hello again to Rick Renner. All right, thanks, Rick. The Cardinals leading the Central by a half game coming into play today as Nunez goes after strike 1.
Rodriguez doesn't really light up the radar gun, but it appears he's a little bit sneaky with his 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Whether he hides the ball, has a little deception in his delivery, but he has a lot of success when he throws his high fastball. Hitters have a hard time catching up with that pitch. 60% of his strikeouts come by way of the fastball, and a lot of them come by way of the high fastball, as we saw in that last pitch that struck out Jurickson Profar. Has a relatively low ground ball rate. Pretty nice changeup right there. He had 150 strikeouts in 137 innings last year. He's had 7 strikeouts in this game, so he has 36 strikeouts in somewhere around 31 or 32 innings.
1-2 pitch. Nunez pulls it foul. Well, Rodriguez just recently turned 25 years old. Last year made 24 starts, also appeared once in relief, but then injured his knee. It was in early June, I think June 1st, and was not activated again until after the All-Star break, and he fires a strike in there to Nunez. Back-to-back strikeouts. In fact, it's 3 straight now.
Well, this appears to be a strikeout that's not on a fastball. That looked like a slider, maybe a cut fastball that he's tossed on the outside corner of the plate. If you had to pick a pitcher that he might remind you of, you might pick Sean Manaea for Oakland, who's having an excellent year this year. Another left-hander. Manaea might be a little bit more 3/4 in his delivery than Rodriguez is, but guys that have pitches that are difficult for the hitter to pick up. And sometimes you see a pitcher throwing 96 and 97 miles an hour straight as a string with no deception in his delivery, and guys will be teeing off on him. But then you'll see guys who the hitter has a little bit of a problem picking up. You don't see the ball right away. It sneaks up on you, and a fastball at 91 or 92 can be more effective under those circumstances than the other one at 96.
Well, he goes 1-1 on Chirinos. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the 5th inning. And buries that one.
The ultimate example of not being able to see the ball. In the old days, they used to have a batting machine that threw the ball through a hole. It was a complete wood face with a little hole in it. And it had an arm inside which the hitter couldn't see. and you would hear the machine make a sound like a bell. You'd hear ding ding, and then a second later the ball would come. And as a hitter, it was almost impossible to hit the pitching machine. You knew where the ball was going to be, you knew when it was going to come, but you couldn't see the arm throw the ball. All you saw was the ball pop out of the machine, and because it was hard to pick up, it was hard to time, hard to see, and hard to hit. You wouldn't think it would be. Another example of that was Nellie Fox used to be one of our coaches and one of our batting practice pitchers, and he used to turn the screen sideways and hide behind the screen, and he probably threw about 50 miles an hour in batting practice, but you couldn't see him, and all you could see was his hand from the side of the batting screen. And so when the ball came in, even though it wasn't going very fast, because you didn't really get a chance to see his arm and time the pitch, you'd have a hard time hitting a 50-mile-an-hour pitch.
Chirinos laces that one into left field, a base hit. So with 2 outs, he keeps the inning going here in the 5th inning. Just the second hit tonight. But off of Rodriguez.
Needless to say, the pitching machine with a bell didn't last very long, maybe a year or two, because no one would hit off it. That's taking advantage of a good pitch to hit and driving it into left field. The only thing Robinson would have liked more is to get it up in the air a little bit.
Yeah, those sounds like the type of things you'll see it every now and then. There are certain BP pitchers. Guys are like, oh man, he'll put me in a slump for a week.
Yeah.
You know, I got to stay away from that guy.
Yeah, I've seen those guys too. Worst guys generally to take batting practice off of are pitchers. Pitchers don't like to give up hits even in batting practice. And the farther you go back, the more often that you saw pitchers actually throwing batting practice before a game.
That was very common, right? Did you when you played, was that pretty much the standard?
No, I don't think it was the standard, but it happened frequently. And you know, you'd say, oh man, there's Bert Blyleven out there throwing batting practice. That's a great way to get ready for the game. Go 0 for 4 in batting practice, strike out a couple of times. Because they wouldn't always just throw 4-seam fastballs right down the middle of the plate. They'd be working on the pitches they wanted to use.
A strike to Rua makes count 0-2.
We were playing out in Anaheim. I think I've told this story before on the air. And the Happy Days crowd was playing a softball game before the game. And Ron Howard was part of that team. And he was around the cage one day when Bert was throwing batting practice, and he asked to take a swing. And so he jumped into the cage. He's watching Bert throw, and he's throwing about 3/4, and he figures he could hit the pitch. And the first pitch that Bert threw was his best curveball. And Ron Howard took a step back and almost fell against the backside of the cage, getting out of the way, walked out of the cage, and knew he wasn't going to see anything good to hit from Bert Blyleven. Gaylord Perry would have been the same way. There's absolutely no way that either one of them would let someone from Happy Days hit a ball hard and bad, even though it was batting practice. They wouldn't want the memory of someone saying, yeah, I had a line shot off Bert Blyleven in batting practice. That was not going to happen.
Rule holds off, 2-2.
Gaylord, though, Gaylord literally in spring training and batting practice, if you hit a line drive off of him hard anywhere near back up the middle, next pitch he'd knock you down. And his own teammate in batting practice, yeah.
You get too comfortable in there, man.
Best thing to do is just avoid batting practice that day. Just say, okay, let's see what I can do without taking batting practice.
2-2, and that's off the plate. I think that was the line from Major League when Bob Uecker was describing somebody. This guy's so nasty, he hit his son in a father-son game.
I don't know if Gaylord would go that far, but he's pretty close to it.
3-2. And Rua stays alive. Rua struck out looking in the third. He's 0 for 1. Not much in the way of sustained rallies in this game or yesterday. Yesterday was amazing. We saw an entire 9-inning game in which neither team sent more than 4 batters to the plate in any half inning.
It felt like that. At the end of the game, it just felt like, you know what? I don't remember talking about anything except how far a home run went in that game.
A total of what, 5 solo home runs in the game today. Somewhat similar. Man on here for Rua, the 3-2, and he stays alive. There have been some long at-bats, though, for the Rangers, and a number of lengthy at-bats against Rodriguez, and this will be the 8th pitch that he'll have to throw to Ryan Rua here.
Yeah, he's got his pitch count all the way up to 86 so far. And he's only thrown a little more than 5 innings per start, 4 innings in his last start.
Already a season high tying 8 strikeouts for Rodriguez. Looks at Chirinos and the 3-2. Rua fouls it off again. Great head-to-head matchup right here. The 3-2, and Rua holds off. That's ball 4, unless he swung. He did not. Tambolino says he held back, so a walk to Rua. And now 2 men on, and we turn the lineup over. A 9-pitch walk.
That looked like a changeup. Very tempting. Ryan was tempted, but checked his swing. Just in time. Well, that's just about as close as the one earlier in the ball game. Very close.
Interesting, because in the top of the 5th inning, we saw Christian Vasquez out of the 9th spot draw a walk. And
Ryan might have tested the call just a hair more than Vasquez did.
Well, DeShields with a chance here. He's got Chirinos in scoring position, Rua at first, and the Rangers so far in this series have done a pretty good job. 5 for 16 with runners in scoring position.
You talk about getting a call on a check swing, if that in fact is what happened with Ryan right there. He deserved it. The other day he had one that he obviously checked his swing and was called a strike.
This ball hit down the left field line, long run into the corner, and that one is gone! Shields with a 3-run shot into the corner. Second home run of the year, and he has given the Rangers a 3-run lead.
Well, we were talking about Delino in the open to the game and what he's done out of a leadoff spot for the Rangers. That's the 9th straight game in which he's had a hit. He's hitting about 370 in those 9 games. He's hit the ball on a line to all fields. He beat out a bunt last night, and he gets a home run in this game. What a big home run. 3-run homer to give the Rangers a 4-1 lead. It's exactly what you want to see from your leadoff hitter. Make things happen. Sometimes you start a rally, and sometimes you're able to end a rally. And not with an out either, with a 3-run homer.
Boy, is that a big one for DeShields and for the Rangers. They really want to make a pitcher pay for walking the 9th place hitter. Chu also to left field, slicing on J.D. Martinez up against that wall, and he couldn't quite get it. Well, now the question is he okay? Took that glove off quickly.
Got it timed pretty well. He knows where he is. He's got his hand out to block himself as he goes into the wall. Difficult play for any outfielder right up against a wall like that.
Chu stays alive, and now the pitch high. It is 2-2. Hey, look at him messing with that wrist and hand. It did not feel good for J.D. Martinez. 2-2. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. So it is a season high 9th strikeout for Rodriguez, but it was one batter too late for him. Delano to Shields, a 3-run shot into the corner. Rangers back on top 4-1. Now JD Martinez to start the 6th inning, our TXU Energy power player to watch. 52 home runs the last 2 seasons. Tied for 3rd in Major League Baseball. Joey Gallo hit the home run earlier today to tie JD Martinez, and there is a swing and a miss for strike 1.
Another good off-speed pitch, good curveball by Cole to get ahead in the count. Sure, Cole was happy to see that 3-run homer. He's been pitching without a lot of run support, as we mentioned earlier in the game, and here he is right in the middle of a 1-1 game, and with 2 outs, Delano got him 3 quick runs and a 3-run lead. 88 pitches right now for Cole.
Well, we saw Martinez seemingly hurt his wrist a little bit trying to make a catch on a ball hit by Chu after the home run, and he went colliding with the wall down at left field corner. See if it has any tangible effect on this at bat here in the 6th inning. Upright hitter, and he takes very high. It's 2-2. JD Martinez is a fascinating story. He came up in the Astros organization and did really well all those years in the minor leagues. When he came up, his rookie campaign, drove in 28 runs in the first month he played in the big leagues, which set a new franchise rookie record in Houston. A couple years later, never really got a full-time gig with the Astros. He was released before spring training was done in 2014. Just outright released, as this one lined out to right field. That's a base hit for JD Martinez. What's amazing is since that point, well, there's only one guy in Major League Baseball who has a higher slugging percentage since the time JD Martinez was released, and that is Mike Trout. Tigers swooped him up, gave him about a month to figure everything out in their organization, and that 2014 season came up and absolutely took off.
Hasn't stopped hitting home runs since.
So he's on here to start the 6th inning, and Bogaerts takes strike 1. Bogaerts whispering a little secret there. That doesn't seem fair.
He didn't want Robinson to hear what he was saying.
A lot of guys say bad things, but I think you're really cool.
But you missed that one, big guy.
Just off the plate, 1-1. Well, Alex Claudio has started to work out of the bullpen in case Hamill shows any signs of weakening in this 6th inning. Cole's been pretty good at getting that comebacker tonight when he has needed it with a man on. One and two on Bogarts, who has doubled and struck out swinging. Well, this is the first time tonight that the Red Sox have managed to get the leadoff hitter on base. And there he is. Martinez not a huge threat to be going anywhere. 1-2 and a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Bogarts strikes out. 5th of the night for Cole Hamels.
First baseman, Moreland.
Strikeout on an off-speed pitch. Looked like a slider, maybe a cut fastball. Down, tempting. Couldn't lay off it. Couldn't reach it though.
So Mitch Moreland now, a walk and a ground out. Facing his old ball club, Moreland just became a dad for a 3rd time a couple of weeks before spring training. Had another baby boy. And a swing and a miss. Even the count at 1-1. Moreland a key part to some great Texas teams here. World Series teams of 2010 and 11. Swings and hits this ball well out to right field. And that one, when it comes down, could be trouble. Up to the fence and over. Chu just missed it. That's a 2nd home run that the Red Sox have hit off the tippy top of the fence.
And the 2nd one in an inning today. Delano's hit it looked like right off the top of the wall. Mitch hit that one sky high. It was hard to tell where it was going to come down, except when you watch Chu go back on it, he made you think like he had a chance to catch it, and as it turned out, he came pretty close to it. He carried right to the wall. Shin-Su goes up, and that ball hit right off the top of the fence, just above his glove. For a 2-run homer. See how close he did come. Right. Oh, he actually touched it. Wow, right off the side of his glove.
Now Eduardo Nunez. And he had gotten under that just enough that there was a chance for Chu to make a play. This little flare out towards center, and it's run down by the Shields for out number 2. So 1-run game. Hamels needs 1 more out to get through this 6th inning.
Third baseman, Rafael Devers.
That brings up Rafael Devers. That home run, 368 feet. Straight to Devers. Chopper out towards second. Kiner Falefa takes care of it, and the inning is done. But a near miss home run. Mitch Moreland over the fence to make it a 1-run game. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Rangers fans rather, even pay the day this Monday and Tuesday. Get tickets for just $7 on May 7th, $8 on May 8th. Rangers taking on the Tigers, and this special courtesy of Univision and 105.3 The Fan. Only available online at texasrangers.com/specials. Use the coupon code Pay the Day. Don't wait. Pay the day. See your Rangers in May. Okay, here we go. Kiner for left. It takes the 1-0 and hits it sharply on the ground to Bogarts. Going away.
A pretty good exit velocity on that. Wasn't a line shot, but close to a line shot. Hard ground ball. That got the Bogarts in a hurry. Well struck.
So 1 out, and here is Mazzara. We spent a little bit of time talking about Nomar today in the pregame show, because he's been on a good little tear lately, homering now in 4 straight games. And he takes ball 1.
So I got a baseball nugget for you, Dave.
All right, love it.
Not related to our game, but interesting, maybe to people around the Metroplex. TCU has a pitcher named Jake, I'm going to say Eisler. I believe that's how you pronounce it. He hasn't really worked his way into the rotation all season long. In fact, up till last week, he'd only appeared in somewhere around 10 to 15 innings. But he got his chance in the last week. Last week, he finished a game with 15 straight outs and 11 strikeouts. Today, he started a game with 15 straight outs and 11 strikeouts.
Really?
So 10 innings, 30 batters, all retired, 22 by strikeouts. My son Tim is a scout with the Tigers, and he was at the game today. Sent me that nugget.
So wait a minute, though. This guy hadn't started?
I don't think he'd been, according to Tim, he had not really been in the rotation or had a chance to have extended opportunities until recently, but my guess is he's going to earn some with that performance. TCU had a string recently of shutout innings, over 40. And I guess Jake might have been a big part of that.
Yeah. Well, so that's a perfect game. That's a 10-inning perfect game, basically, through over 2 games with 22 strikeouts. Okay. Well, that's like hiding a secret weapon, you know, until it gets to playoff time, because they got to be getting close to College World Series time here shortly, right?
Yeah, and they haven't had their typical season, so they're trying to finish strong and make it back to Omaha.
Well, listen,
they may have found their hidden weapon.
Yeah, that could go a long way to getting it done. Mazzara shoots it foul. 2-2. Omar has struck out and lined out in this one tonight. Out, nobody on. Rangers got 3 runs last inning off Rodriguez, and he's over 100 pitches tonight, and he gets Mazzara to swing and miss. 10th strikeout tonight for Eduardo Rodriguez. 2 away. You know, when he was 17 years old, Joey Gallo hit a 442-foot home run at Petco Park. That was off Lucas Sims, a Braves prospect, during the Perfect Game All-American Classic in 2011. In 4 years at Bishop Gorman High School, he hit .466 with 67 home runs. That's a Nevada high school record.
67 home runs.
Yeah. But then with the Hickory Crawdads in the Sally League, became the first teenager since Dick Simpson in 1962 to hit 40 or more home runs in a minor league season. Last year, 41 home runs, 3rd best in the American League.
I don't think I ever had a high school season where I had 67 at bats.
Upstairs 1-1 to Gallo, homered earlier tonight.
They kept throwing to him, though.
Yeah, right.
You would have thought they walk him every time up.
Of course, he was a great pitcher, too, in high school. Hits this ball a ton. That one headed to the bleachers. Gone! Off the facade of the upper deck. And it's a 2-homer night for Joey Gallo.
And you can tell when Joey really gets into one like he did the first time up. That one off the facade of the upper deck. Obviously, it's hit well enough to go that far. But the cut fastball might have hit Joey a little bit off the end of the bat. But he's so strong, it still shot out of here and almost got into the upper deck. Pretty nice night for Joey. 2 home runs against a left-hand pitcher who has struck out 10 batters in the game and made a lot of good pitches. But Joey's taken advantage of a couple of pitches tonight. All the Rangers scoring by way of the home run. 2 by Joey Gallo, 2 solo shots by Joey Gallo, and a 3-run homer by Delino.
Yeah, you kind of love a night where a guy can hit 2 balls that combine nearly 900 feet. There's Profar. Lifts this one into short center field. And Benintendi tucks it away to end the inning. Those are good for 2 runs. And a dude hits one 360 feet, good for 3 runs. 5-3. Today, Ford is the best in Texas. Joey Gallo is added to the Rangers lead, a solo home run. 5-3 our scores. We go to the 7th. This was just moments ago in the bottom of the 6th.
First one came off the bat at 117. That was about 105. The result was the same, though. He trotted around the bases for a solo shot against a left-hander who, coming into the game, Rodriguez had given up 3 home runs all season long in 26 1/3 innings. And in 6 innings tonight, he struck out 10, but he gave up 3 home runs tonight. Same amount he'd given up in all his other starts combined.
Christian Vasquez launches one straight up in the air, right side of the infield. Everybody wants it, but Gallo's bigger.
Yeah, that's a bad idea for Jerkson. He bounced off him like a little kid.
Profar explaining, I'm the shortstop. When I call it, I get it. You got to move, big fella.
Joey didn't even make a move when he hit him. Boink. Well, at least they could smile about it.
Thank goodness. We've seen versions of this in the past. It didn't end up so well. Gallo and Matt Bush last year on a similar play. Anyway, took care of it. 1 out, and
that one you've got a problem if they're each about the same height with the same reach, and the glove isn't about the same spot, and you know your heads meet. But when Joey's 4 or 5 inches taller, and his hand is 5 or 6 inches higher, no problem.
at least for him.
About 40, 45 pounds heavier. Tough man to move.
Off the plate to Betts, 1 and 2.
Nice numbers for Jose Leclerc. 10 innings now with 11 strikeouts. Hasn't given up a home run. Opponents only hitting 100 against Jose so far this year.
One-two pitch to Betts. Whoa. He did not like the look of that one. Hamels, good start tonight. 6 innings. Allowed 3 runs, only 2 earned on 5 hits. A couple of walks, 5 strikeouts.
Yep, solid outing. Had a potential for 2 double plays in the game that weren't turned. That probably cost him 20 pitches and maybe another inning. But overall, I think Cole has to be happy with the stuff that he had tonight. Good off-speed pitches, good life on his fastball. Probably disappointed on the home run in the 6th inning. 2-run homer by Mitch Moreland, but really all it was a high fly ball. It came down right on top of the wall. But overall, good solid outing. And fortunately tonight, the Rangers got some runs for Cole, and he has a 2-run lead in this game.
Well, Leclerc puts Betts aboard with the 1-out walk, and here comes the skipper, Jeff Bannister, walking out there. And with the left-handed hitting Andrew Benintendi coming up, he will go to the bullpen. So, Rangers by 2. Leclerc heading off. Coca-Cola Family Pack offers savings of over 50% on tickets, food, kids zone access, souvenir programs, and Coca-Cola soft drinks. The Family Pack is a great way to catch the Rangers when they face the Detroit Tigers next week, Monday through Wednesday. Go to TexasRangers.com/specials and get your Coca-Cola Family Pack today. All right, Alex Claudio is on here in the 7th.
Yeah, for Alex, his pitch arsenal will show a fastball a little more than half the time and a lot of changeups. 36% of the time he throws his changeups. He'll also mix in a slider.
Now he faces Andrew Benintendi here. And fires that one right on the outside corner for a strike. So this was during the pitching change. It's all funny now. Oh, you are taller.
At least Jurek can smile about it. Fortunately, he's not hurt.
One and one. Claudio in to face the lefty, and he has been very good against him. Best among major league relievers with that 185 on base allowed to left-handed batters. A great spot for him right here with a man on, 1 out. Good lead over there from Mookie Betts.
Whoa.
Yeah. You know, the time that we've used StatCast to stretch out and show us the actual size of those leads, I think that's the largest that we've witnessed, 13 feet. And because of it, you'll continue to see throws over there. Betts does have good speed. He has stolen 3 this year in 4 attempts.
You may recognize the first base coach talking to Mookie Betts. That's Tom Goodwin, former Ranger center fielder. One of baseball's all-time good guys. Here's Tom.
Makes his home in the offseason here in the Metroplex. Flare out to left field. That's a tough play. Betts into third base. And Benintendi able to go to second. Now the throw coming late to the plate. I don't know what the confusion was out there. And Profar and Rua, some indecision on getting it back in, and Betts just decided to take off. That is not good.
Benintendi might have back-to-back the 2 cheapest hits of the year right there. This ball jammed him, just a little looper into left field. Jurickson picks it up, looks to second, kind of forgets about Betts. Betts takes 2 or 3 steps, sees that Jurickson is not looking in his direction, and figures he's going to be able to sneak home before Jurickson figures out what's going to happen.
Double for Benintendi.
I guess that's an RBI too, right?
No RBI.
No RBI.
Because of the, the way he stopped there around third base. And did not score on the hit. He scored on his own instinct and intuition there. As a swing and a miss by Ramirez. He's strike 1.
Well, you chalk up those 2 hits. The little blooper off the handle that Benintendi landed right on second base for an infield hit in the 5th. To that jam shot off the handle that barely got to the outfield over third base. Have to be feeling pretty fortunate. Be 2 for 4 in this game.
Well, tough right-handed hitter. And Claudio hits the outside corner. 0-2 on Ramirez. 1 out here. And a man at second base representing the potential tying run. Ramirez 1 for 3. Turning to look back. Claudio had struggled a little bit earlier, Tom. His numbers just were very unlike what we had seen last year, and they had used some of the analytics that they were able to dig up, specifically on extension release point for Alex Claudio. He's been working hard in the bullpen to get back to his old form, and the results have started to turn back in his favor again. 0-2, and it's off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Some of the stuff that, the information that teams are able to capture these days, it's a lot more than simply velocity off the bat and stuff like that. You can get actual release points, stride length for pitchers, any number of really interesting pieces of data. Little comebacker. Claudio has it. He'll let the runner advance, take care of Ramirez, and that is out number 2.
So I'm still trying to figure out how that's not an RBI. How do you score that? Well, he didn't score on a throw. He didn't score on an error.
I mean, I'm guessing right now, the way I'm going to put it in the book until I hear otherwise, is that he scored on the throw back to second base or to the infield.
He threw home, though. He threw home and didn't get him. It's got to be an RBI.
Another mound visit for Claudio.
I'm marking it. That's an RBI in my book.
Tom, don't put it down.
Well,
you're scoring a pencil. You're fine.
This is not official. I've got RBI. He got an RBI on that little infield thing off second base, right?
Yes.
So if he gets an RBI, in my book, he's got 2 RBIs tonight. You guys have him down for 1, but I got him down for 2. Those might be the 2 cheapest RBIs of the year right there.
Probably, except he only gets 1.
Oh, you got 1 in your book. It's got 2 in mine.
You have to be able to mark something down. I can't figure out what you mark down.
All I know is when I was a kid, my dad asked me once, he's like, you know, so how you doing there at the old baseball thing? I was like, Dad, I'm hitting like 700. You know, I gave him all my numbers, and he's like, no, you're not. He's like, those aren't hits, son. Those are errors.
What were you counting it? Like every time you put the ball in play, 70% of the time?
Absolutely, man. If I reached on a fielder's choice or anything, that was a hit. And he's like, nope, those aren't hits, dude. Now here's J.D. Martinez. So don't ask me these scoring decisions.
Okay.
Will Rudd is our official scorer tonight.
People keeping score at home, though. They're probably confused now.
Now? There's a ground ball up the middle, and that one's shot through by Martinez to tie the game. Benintendi is in. Martinez with his first RBI of the night, and we're even at 5.
Shortstop Xander Bogaerts.
Well, the Rangers work themselves into a nice lead in this game, and then with one out, you get a walk, a blooper, and now a ground ball, and right back to a tie ball game.
Well, it brings up Xander Bogaerts, the inning not done yet. So Hamels, who left with the lead and a chance to win the game, no longer can win. He won't lose. Bogaerts takes inside for a ball. One in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 2 so far here in the 7th. It's 1-1. Bouncer at third base, but that's foul. So 1-2 the count on Bogaerts, who struck out his last 2 times in. That time I keep some of the silence fans are being treated to right now. We're going back and forth trying to get the information from Will Rudd, our official scorer today, a couple of booths over. And to answer your question about how do you account for the run scoring,
right?
Apparently no accounting for that yet. He just says,
I know how I account for it. It's an RBI. All I can do is look at my book. I see RBI.
Bogaerts strikes out swinging, and the inning is done. But it's a new game, tied at 5 all of a sudden here in the 7th. Fans will take a moment to stand for God Bless America. We turn it over to public address announcer Chuck Morgan.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Will you please rise and direct your attention to the area behind home plate? Welcome back, Joel Legros. In honor of all the veterans who have served our country and the servicemen and women who are currently stationed at home and around the world, Joel Legros will now perform God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
And we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. But tomorrow's probables brought to you by Ford. Chris Sale, last year's strikeout king with 308. He'll have the ball for Boston. Doug Fister, the former Red Sox, will go for the Rangers. 1:30 for the pregame tomorrow, 2:05 for the first pitch. Final game in this 4-game series here at Globe Life Park. We have seen some great starting pitching in this series, and we'll get treated to a little bit more tomorrow. Now bullpens, of course, from this point on. Heath Embry is on for Boston. Bumps in a strike.
Oh, Heath Embry on the mound for the Red Sox. Be his 14th ball game. Good strikeout to innings pitched, 16 and 15 innings. Has given up a couple of home runs, though. Good fastball. Saw that last fastball at 95 miles an hour. Cut fastball right there at 90 miles an hour.
It's 7, 8, and 9 in the 7th inning. For Embry, he's a guy that, based on the early results for Boston, they might choose to pitch him as much as possible on the road and maybe avoid him a little bit at home. Swing and a miss. Nunez strikes out. It's been a tough night for Renato. Talking about Chris Sale tomorrow. And you look at pitchers with more than 1,000 strikeouts since 2014. Max Scherzer, Corey Kluber joining Chris Sale. And Chris Sale, to me, of the three, kind of the most amazing. That long, slender frame of his, that he's able to just keep pounding the strike zone and throw as many innings as he does each year.
Yeah, I think no matter how you look at those three guys, they're all different. They all pitch in their own certain style. They're three guys. Most hitters do not want any part of those three guys. It's a great challenge for a hitter, but you can look pretty bad facing those guys.
Chirinos up here with 1 out in the 7th inning. Heath Embry on the road, 6 1/3. Now you can call it 7 innings pitched. And he's been very, very good on the road, all scoreless. Whereas at home, Embry has given up 7 earned runs in 8 2/3 innings. So it has not gone anywhere near as well for him back at Fenway. 1-1 and a swing and a miss. All right, I went during the 7th inning stretch. Had a little extra time, so I went over to talk to Will Rudd, our official scorer. I said, "All right, what do you got?"
Find out.
He said it's a double, no RBI, because he wasn't running. He stopped at 3rd. I said, "Okay." He said, "But we can't charge an error because he didn't make an error." He said it was like a mental error. He says, I said, "Well, okay, so then how does he score?" He said, "It's a fielder's choice."
Oh, okay.
Profar chose
not to throw the ball. Okay.
Chirinos swings and misses, and that strikeout is the 2nd out of the inning. That brings up Ryan Rua.
Pretty good start to this inning for Heath Embry. 2 up, 2 down, 2 strikeouts. Red Sox have some hard throwing right-handers in their bullpen. Saw Matt Barnes last night throwing in the mid-90s. Joe Kelly upper 90s. Embry mid to upper 90s. You know, Kimbrel, the closer, is going to throw 96 to 98 miles an hour. Carson Smith has a good arm. Power arms from the right side in their bullpen.
Rua walked in the 5th inning. Ooh, gets away right there. 1-1. It's been interesting tonight. The 9th place hitter for both teams. Rua in the 5th inning, and it was Vasquez in the 5th inning for the Red Sox. Both of them drew walks, and both of them would eventually score in the innings. Pretty big plays at the time. 1-1. Whoa, up and in. So Embry all over the place, was off the plate by a foot or so the other direction, and now in a foot or so on the next pitch, and both of them mid to upper 90s. I can't tell you how Rua's feeling, but I'm uncomfortable. And that one evens the count at 2-2. Kevin Jepson getting ready for the 8th inning. Embry's 2-2 and a foul ball. Oh, Rua's done some good battle here today. The walk that he drew in the 5th inning, that was a 9-pitch at bat. So he hasn't gone easily. Fights off a good pitch there from Embry. Well, Ricardo Rodriguez out of the game, pitched well, 6 innings, 4 hits. Off the plate, it's a full count. Embry came up with the San Francisco Giants back in 2013. He's been a Red Sox since then. 3-2 pitch, and that is strike 3 called. Second time tonight that Rua has gone down looking. Embry strikes out the side in order in the 7th. 8th inning is next. And Alex Claudio out again here in the 8th inning to face a left-handed hitting Mitch Moreland, and we'll see. I mean, Nunez would be next, but then Rafael Devers will be due 3rd in the inning, another left-handed hitter. Moreland had a big 2-run homer in the 6th inning. By big, I mean important. It did not get out by much. Hardly got out at all. In fact, it hit the fence. The very top of it, it bounced out. In fact, prior to hitting the fence, it hit Chu's glove. So, I mean, that was by the narrowest of margins, but a big home run nonetheless. And the count 0-2 now on Moreland here in the 8th inning. One for 2. The walk earlier. And that one misses in. So Hamels went 6 innings. Jose Leclerc got an out. And Claudio has pitched 2/3 so far. And a swing and a foul tip. Let's check in with Emily Jones.
I got to see Mitch's family before today's game, and in talking to his wife Susanna, his son Crew was having a hard time rooting against the Rangers because his favorite players, Adrian, Elvis, and Rugi, still play for the Rangers. So the 5-year-old Crew Moreland was still a bit torn as to how to handle today's game.
I love that. I love that. Crew's playing ball this year. This is his first year playing Little League. And a off-speed pitch inside, 2-2 the count. Yeah, that's tough. And I remember getting the story last year that it was a real difficult adjustment for the kids last year, his first year with the Red Sox. 2-2 and a roller first base, and that one threw into right field. Moreland is on to start the 8th inning. And it looked like Gallo just lost his footing.
Another good game for Mitch. Home run, a single, and a walk in this game. Playing against a left-hander tonight and facing a left-hander in relief. Knocked in 2 runs with a home run and a single.
I don't know if he keeps his feet, if Gallo comes up with that one and is able to make a play, but he definitely spun out there. So Moreland will draw a throw, even though he's not real likely to be running. He can. He's stolen a base this year. Eduardo Nunez 0 for 3. Reached on an error back in the first inning. Set up for a double play on the infield, and Nunez fouls that one off.
That changeup's even hard to bunt. Yeah, here's what you're talking about, Dave. As he pushed off to dive, like his feet slipped and maybe not able to get the extension he was hoping to get when he planted his foot and dove.
Another bunt attempt. This one laid out right in front of the plate. Claudio. The changeup down to first to get Nunez. Sacrifice good, however, as Moreland moves into scoring position.
Third baseman Rafael Devers.
There's a weird sound on that bunt, almost like it darn near knocked the bat out of Nunez's hands. And here is Rafael Devers. Red Sox 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position tonight. They were 0 for their first 3, and things have kind of turned their direction lately. Last 4 at bats with the runner in scoring position, they've come through twice. Pitch, and that one's fouled away. Devers a dangerous man. 0 for 3 in this one tonight. Yesterday had a couple of home runs. He was 3 for 4 with the 2 home runs. It was his second career multi-homer game. He's just 21 years old. Came up last season. And a chopper back to the mound, and they'll go to third base, and they get the force out there. Nice play by Alex Claudio, teaming up with Renato Nunez to get Moreland 2 away.
Well, that takes away the sacrifice bunt. He's back with a man on first base now. Little chopper. Looked like Mitch thought that ball might bounce over the pitcher's head, in which case he would get to third easily. But Alex is able to pounce on that ball and make the easy throw to third and get the easy out at third. race the runner in scoring position. That's a good play.
Stayed in to face the two lefties. He got 2 outs and now gives way here in the 8th inning. 2 away, and Kevin Jepson coming on out of the pen.
A solid start from Cole Hamels, and he delivered. 6 innings, 3 runs, and 5 strikeouts. Cole needed some support, and he got that from Delino DeShields, a 3-run homer, and from Joey Gallo, who launched 2 solo shots. But with a 5-4 lead in the 7th inning, J.D. Martinez rolls the ball up the middle. That ties the game at 5. For the Rangers now in the 8th inning, Kevin Jepson comes into the ball game. He'll inherit a runner at first base, Rafael Devers, and we'll look at his pitch arsenal. 60% fastballs, 35% curveballs, only an occasional changeup. Pretty much fastball, curveball, a little like Keone Kela in that regard.
First fastball a little high to Christian Vasquez, a 9th place hitter. Vasquez scored that run in the 5th inning. Drew a 1-out walk. He would later score on a bloop single that bounced off of second base. No time called. It's been quite the game tonight. We've had some really interesting moments. One of the weirdest rallies I've ever seen in that 5th inning. With the Red Sox their first run of the game. One in there for a strike, 1-1. And then I get a kick out of the fact that Joey Gallo, who hits him as far as anyone on the planet, hit one 466 feet. Then he hit one off the facing the upper deck, and those 2 combined were worth 1 run. Delino DeShields, who does not hit home runs as a general rule, poked one down the left field line, barely got over the fence. That was worth 3. Well, Tapper back to the mound and off of Jepson's glove. Tanner Falefa charges, throws in time, and he gets Vasquez to end the inning. That might be a big play.
Well, fortunately, it was the catcher running, but it turns into a very nice play. Off the pitcher's glove, Tanner Falefa on the run, makes a nice throw, and the Rangers get out of the inning.
Rangers and the Red Sox as we welcome you back to the action. And some encouraging news finally from the injury front, both from the pitching side and the offensive side. Tim Lincecum threw a bullpen today. He is set to begin a rehab assignment at AAA Round Rock on Monday. Rougned Odor, meantime, got the start at DH tonight in Frisco. He was 0 for 3 with a walk. It's looking like perhaps a Tuesday return to the big leagues for Rougned, guys.
All right, thanks, Emily. Yeah, good news there. Rangers team slowly but surely might be getting back to full strength. Delino DeShields starts things off here in the 8th, the tie game. Had a big 3-run homer in the 5th. And he takes one high, 1-1. Delino with 2 home runs this year and 4 RBIs. This is just his 15th game of the year. One and 2 the count. Well, the home run was great in the 5th inning. And as you pointed out at the time, Tom, as a leadoff man, sometimes you start rallies, sometimes you punctuate them, as he did in that case. Rangers need him to start one here in the 8th.
He's playing some nice baseball since he came off the disabled list the last 10 days.
On a play, 1 and 2.
He is 14 for his last 39. Hasn't had a chance to steal a lot of bases yet. 4 out of 5, I think he is. Saw him last night beat out a bunt down the first baseline.
2 and 2. Yeah, a big part of the conversation during spring training with Delino was, well, how many bases could he steal? So everyday leadoff guy, and Banny, nobody wanted to put a number on it exactly, but Banny hinted that, you know, look, I mean, a 40-50 steal season is in the cards one day for him. Soft liner over first. That's a base hit and a great start to a potential rally in this 8th inning.
That was a pretty tough pitch, too. Good fastball down and away. Borderline strike. Might have been a ball out of the strike zone. Lino has to reach for it. Hit it a little bit toward the end of the bat. But the result is a soft single to right field. First time up in this game, Delino hit the ball hard to right field. Mookie Betts went back near the warning track and made a catch backing up toward the fence. That was 0 for 1, but this one off the end of the bat turned into a base hit. Fast man on to lead off the 8th inning. See what the Rangers can do to move him around. Shin-Soo is glad to get Rodriguez out of the game, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Oh, Delino with a bluff.
I think he was just seeing what kind of jump he could get. Probably like to see Henry throw over there just to get a look.
Yeah.
See how quick his move is.
Based on that little exchange just a second ago, you think he could get a pretty good jump.
We saw Mookie Betts get a 13-foot lead. Delino is right now at 10 feet.
1 and 1 on 2.
That's part of stealing a base, how far you can get off, but probably more important than that is what kind of a jump can you get and how fast can you accelerate. Most really good base stealers accelerate very quickly, but a lot of times you'll see a guy that's not the fastest guy be a better base stealer because the way he can get a good lead, read the pitcher, and get a good jump. Sometimes the fastest guys aren't the best base stealers because they don't have the instincts.
2 down the 3rd baseline. That's a fair ball. DeShields with his great speed heading to 3rd, and it'll be stopped there. Tony Beasley throws up the sign. It's a double for 2, and the Rangers have 2nd and 3rd. Nobody out.
Well, in baseball, if you stay with it, you can overcome a bad start. Shin-Soo had struck out 3 times against Eduardo Rodriguez, and now he comes up in the 8th inning in a tie ball game. And he does what he does so well, go the other way. Pitches a 95-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner. He waits on it, and drills it down the left field line. Rangers in nice shape here to start the 8th inning. Second and third, and nobody out. Red Sox in this situation, tie game, 9th inning, 8th inning. They're going to play their infield in right here. Great opportunity for Isaiah to put the ball in play and pick up a run.
Kiner Falefa today 0 for 3. He was hitless yesterday. His parents, his mom Kim, his dad Feely, here from Hawaii to watch him on this homestand. And he hasn't had a chance yet to really deliver that big moment yet. Wouldn't this be something? There they are. They're pretty dialed in at the moment. DeShields third, Chu second, and this one popped foul out of play.
Now hitter in a tough situation. No balls and 2 strikes against a pitcher you're unfamiliar with a really lively fastball. You got to dig in and figure out some way to make contact right here.
Everybody up on the edge of the grass. The 0-2. Little roller. And right there for Bogarts. And he throws out Kiner Falefa. 1 away in this 8th inning. Everybody stays put. It brings up Nomar Mazara.
Well, in this situation with first base open, we'll see what the Red Sox choose to do. You can walk Nomar Mazara, who's a .290 hitter. Load the bases for Joey Gallo, who's not a .290 hitter, but he's got 2 home runs in the game.
Saw the intention to walk. Mazara loads him up for Joey Gallo. Interesting move. And Joe Kelly, the hard thrower, will be coming on out of the pen for Boston when we return. New pitcher on for the Boston Red Sox. Joe Kelly makes his 14th appearance.
Well, nice numbers for Joe Kelly. We saw him in last night's ball game. Opponents hitting 149 against him. He came in last night in relief of Rick Porcello. Pitched the 7th inning, had a 1-2-3 inning. Faced Joey Gallo and had a strikeout in the 7th inning last night. So Joey had a good look at him last night. A little bit different situation tonight. Bases loaded. 1 out in a tie ball game.
Yeah, much different spot. Kelly has to approach it a little bit differently. And of course, Joey right now, based on what we've seen tonight, seems somewhat locked in. He holds off on that one. You can see he's hunting a pitch to hit right now.
Yeah, Kelly was trying to throw a high fastball, get Joey to offer at it and get ahead in the count. Joey laid off it. Now Joey's ahead in the count.
The Shields, Chu, and Mazzara on the bases. The 1-0. A high foul over to the left side, out of play. So earlier tonight, his first at bat, second inning for Gallo.
Pitch on the inside part of the plate, came off the bat at 117 miles an hour and went 466 feet. This one came off the bat at about 106 miles an hour, hit a little bit toward the end of the bat, and only got as far as the facing of the upper deck in right field.
It was stopped by the facing.
Only. But a lot of people would like to hit it on the barrel of the bat and hit it that far.
Kelly's 1-1. Inside, 97 miles per hour. So the 2 home runs. Gallo now the last 2 seasons, 53 home runs. That moves him just a shade ahead of J.D. Martinez. Still looking up at Stanton and Aaron Judge, but well, that's some pretty good company. There's Martinez. That home run in the second inning, the hardest hit by any Ranger ever, according to StatCast. This one fouled away. It's 2-2.
Well, Joey's had some good swings, and Joe Kelly is trying to elevate his fastball. He's trying to throw the high fastball, feeling like that gives him his best chance to get Joey Gallo. Joey's had a couple of good rips at that high fastball, hasn't been able to connect yet.
There's that infield shift. Not as dramatic as some we have seen. Devers plays a fairly normal third base, all things considered. Outfield straight away. 5th multi-home run game in Gallo's career tonight with those 2 bombs. All 5 of those games have been here. A 3-homer game would really be a beauty. Two. Swing and a miss. Boy, he went after it. But Gallo strikes out, 2 away now in the 8th.
We'll take a look at the pitch sequence. Joe Kelly to Joey Gallo. No secret here of what Joe Kelly was trying to do. High fastballs. Took one for a ball. Fouled the same pitch off. Inside. Ahead in the count again. Another fastball. This one a little bit above the belt. Last one a little bit higher than that, about at the letters. All fastballs, and Kelly won that battle.
So it's up to Jurickson Profar. Go ahead run at third. Chu is at second. Mazzara is at first. Rangers led all night until the bottom of the 7th when the Red Sox tied it at 5. This one fouled away. Profar, among the various things that pop up out of his stat line this year, is 14 walks coming in, second most on the team. Only Chu is walked more often. As Vasquez goes out there for conversation, and a walk here would give the Rangers the lead. He also has a team high 3 game-winning RBIs this year. So he could certainly add to that with a base hit right here. A number of ways that he can pad both those numbers. He started the rally to Shields with a base hit to open the inning. Chu then doubled him to third, and Mazzara given the intentional walk. Kiner Falefa grounded out. Gallo struck out. Profar takes high. It's 1-1. Every pitch that Joe Kelly has thrown so far in this outing tonight has been at least 95 miles per hour or harder. That last one registered 97 on the gun here in-house. There's nothing but straight heat from Kelly. Former Cardinal, came up with St. Louis in 2012. Spent 3 years with the Cardinals before becoming a Red Sox. 1-1 pitch. There's a swing and a high fly ball down the left side, angling toward the seats, and just does get there. Ooh. A little close for comfort. Good to see the fans give a ball back to the players.
That's a nice exchange. Here, you want the ball? Bogarts threw it right back to him.
Sometimes you just want to have a catch.
Good try by Devers. He got in the exact nook and cranny he needed to get in. Gotta like that.
1-2 the count. The pitch. It's low.
That's a tough one to lay off of. He threw Joey Gallo 5 straight high fastballs. He'd thrown Jurickson 3 straight high fastballs, so 8 straight high fastballs, and then he breaks off a hard, sharp breaking curveball that dropped a little bit out of the strike zone. Jurickson, first time he saw that pitch, still was able to lay off it.
Rangers have a runner at every base. Profar swings and again sends this one into the seats. 2-2. Now, Joe Kelly, one of those guys that maybe fans not quite as familiar with, but since late July of 2016, only Andrew Miller of the Indians and David Robertson of the Yankees have a lower earned run average among American League relievers. 2-2. And that one clubbed foul.
Again, another curveball. Fooled Jurickson, but he was able to get a piece of it. Hang in there. Another long at bat for Jurickson. See the curveball spin out of his hand and drop. Jurickson lunges for it and gets a piece of it. Jurickson this year has had 10 plate appearances with 8 or more pitches. He's on the verge of having another one right here. Had one last night.
And this will be the 7th pitch of this at bat. And time granted by plate umpire Adrian Johnson. Rangers won the opener of this series on Thursday night, 11-5, their biggest offensive night of the year. Yesterday, lost a home run derby 5-1. Today, all square in the bottom of the 8th. 2-2. That's in the dirt, and it's a full count. And here you go, another 8-pitch at bat.
Another 8-pitch at bat. He's had high fastballs. They're tough to handle when they're going 98 miles an hour, and he's fought them off. Took a tough curveball, fouled another curveball off. And you have to be pretty confident that Kelly's going to throw a fastball here. He's got to throw whatever pitch he can throw that he knows he can throw for a strike with the bases loaded.
Just shy of 36,000 on their feet. Runners go. A little tapper foul.
He didn't throw him a fastball. Threw him something off speed. Jurickson somehow got a piece of it. Threw him a changeup. First changeup he's thrown in 14 pitches. That's pretty good back control right there. You have to be almost 100% sure he's going to throw you a fastball right there. And Joe Kelly knew that that's what the batter thought. Threw him a good changeup, and Jurickson got a piece of it.
$35,728 and full throw. The 9th pitch of the at-bat. And there will be a 10th.
He's asking if it was a strike or not. Is that ball away? Too close to take, I'll tell you that. I'm not leaving that one up to the umpire.
And Jurickson didn't either. A little bit outside.
Well, a walk would give the Rangers the lead. A base hit would do it. Here comes the payoff. And another foul ball.
And another curveball. Hung that one a little bit. Runners are getting tired. 3-2 and 2 outs there on the run. Not Delino. He's not on the run. Borderline pitch. Again, in this situation, it's tough to take a borderline pitch.
Kid can't watch. Facing the glove. Here it comes again. Oh, strike 3 call. 11 pitches. With Profar down looking, and the Rangers leave him loaded in the bottom of the 8th. We go to the 9th, tied at 5. The New York Yankees coming to town May 21st to the 23rd. Catch your Rangers in action against the Yankees in this 3-game series. It's early time through town. Great seats still available, so get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. Well, 9th inning, and Keone Kela on to try and keep this thing tied.
Fastball, curveball. 60-40 split, roughly. Very similar as far as the pitch arsenal goes to Kevin Jepsen, and a similar type curveball, straight over the top, breaks straight down, a little more velocity than Keone's fastball.
He's done a great job in these spots this year. And he deals up and away to Mookie Betts. He has Betts, Andrew Benintendi, and Hanley Ramirez. Betts reached on the 2-base error in the 5th inning. He's also walked, and he takes a heater in. Very dangerous man. 11 home runs in his last 14 games. And he takes a strike. Now, let that one settle in for a minute there. 11 home runs in 14 games. That's really an amazing tear for any hitter ever. 2-2. Never happened in Red Sox history. And they've had some pretty good hitters. Pop up, first base side. room over there, apparently. Gallo makes the play, 1 out in the 9th.
Well, he got behind in the count to Mookie Betts, 2-0, threw a good fastball on the inside corner. Fooled him with a curveball. After he saw the curveball, wasn't quite as aggressive and able to get out in front of that high fastball. And the result was that little jam shot, pop up to first base. A good start to the 9th inning for Keone.
Now Benintendi takes a breaking ball away. His big double in the 7th inning. That was the first at bat against Alex Claudio. And it allowed Mookie Betts to score, though Benintendi would not get an RBI. Not that we want to open up that can of worms again, but it was an interesting play. One of a number of really weird plays in this game tonight. Kella's 2-0, and there's a swing and a miss. Couldn't catch up with that heater. Home run this year. Now 16 RBIs for Benintendi, and he takes another strike. 2-2 the count. Hit .270 as a rookie last year. 20 homers, 90 RBIs. And he hits this ball high in the air, out to right center field. Chu is back, and that one is off the fence, and a blast past to Shields. Benintendi has some speed. He's into third.
Benintendi got underneath that ball. Looked like it might be headed for the bullpen. It didn't quite get there. It's a curveball from Keone, but this one hangs and stays belt high and out over the plate. And so it's a pretty good pitch for Benintendi to get in the air, which he did. And take a look at where that ball hit. Right near the top of the wall.
So now the infield has to play in. Hanley Ramirez, and he hits the ball really hard. And this is a real challenge for these infielders right here. First pitch on the way, and there's a swing and a miss. Power on power. As Hanley likes to take big swings. Kella's got that overpowering fastball at times. 1 for 4 tonight for Hanley, going back to the 3rd inning. Five runs, 9 hits for Boston. 5 runs, 6 hits for the Rangers. Rangers have made 2 errors tonight. A little bit tight.
Well, the Rangers had 2nd and 3rd and nobody out in the bottom half of the 8th. Well, the Red Sox man on 3rd and 1 out. See if Keone can keep them from scoring right here. There's a good curveball, just missed down and away.
Didn't miss by much. Kella recently turned 25 years old. The 2-1 pitch. There's a swing and a high fly ball out to center field. To Shields with 4 outfield assists, makes the catch. Benintendi tags, he'll score. Red Sox lead 6-5.
Oh, veteran hitter. You got Hanley Ramirez up there in that situation. He knows he doesn't need a hit. He knows he doesn't have to drive the ball. He just has to make some contact and get it in the air. So he hit about 325-foot pop up to center field, but it gets the job done.
Two gone. Here's J.D. Martinez. Bouncer, first base. Gallo is there. He'll go to the bag, and the inning is done. But the Red Sox, for the first time tonight, have the lead on a sac fly by Ramirez. Bottom third of the order coming up for the Rangers in the last of the ninth. The score, last chance for the Rangers coming up here at the bottom of the ninth inning. Hey, download the app, play for free, and start your streak for a chance at $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today. All right, Craig Kimbrell coming on here in the bottom of the ninth inning. There you see it, 299 career saves. Looking for number 300 tonight. He has converted almost 91% of his save opportunities in his career, the highest rate in Major League history for guys with at least 250 opportunities. And he's on pace to become the quickest ever to 300 saves. Bradley Jr., Jackie Bradley Jr. has taken over in center field for Benintendi, who slides over to left for the Red Sox. There's Benintendi, so they shore things up a little bit defensively. Rangers had the last three hitters in the order coming up here. Renato Nunez, and he swings at the first pitch, pops it up. First base side, Moreland coming down the line, and one away.
Kimbrell's not a tall guy. He's stocky. And he's been an elite closer for a long time. Dominating fastball. It's one of those games where the toughest relief job is probably going to go to Joe Kelly. Came in with the bases loaded and one out, got a couple of strikeouts.
Just misses to Chirinos. Craig Kimbrell, 6 feet tall, 220 pounds. Very accomplished. Came up with the Atlanta Braves, was lights out for Atlanta for many years. Just off the plate, 2-0. Briefly with Boston, or rather San Diego in 2015 before joining the Red Sox in 2016. Came over in a trade with San Diego. 5-man deal. Off the plate again. So 3-0 to Robinson Chirinos.
Well, Kimbrel's not giving in to that location. He's throwing every pitch in the exact same spot. He just missed with all three of them, just off the plate, down and away. Unusual way of taking the sign, to say the least. Imitated by little leaguers all over the country.
3-0 pitch, and that one right down the middle, 98 miles per hour. Now Ronald Guzman has moved into the on-deck circle, so he'll hit for Ryan Rua, regardless of the outcome here. The 3-1. Check swing, and that's fouled off. Chirinos wants that one back. Kimbrel would be the first pitcher in history to get to 300 saves before his 30th birthday. He has till the end of the month, basically, to get there. He only needs one. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Chirinos, and they're 2 away.
They got the count to 3-0. And Kimbrel came back and threw 3 fastballs for strikes.
So now Ronald Guzman, the rookie. 15 games under his belt. And the last hope for the Rangers tonight against the best closer perhaps in baseball right now, Craig Kimbrel. And holds off on ball 1 upstairs. Kimbrel with 8 saves on the season. Guzman with 11 hits in his career.
Dropped in an 85-mile-an-hour curveball.
One ball, 1 strike. Rangers down to their final out. Guzman swings and hammers that, but foul. 1-2 the count. Big, strong guy, Guzman, 6'5", about 250 pounds. And he can drive the baseball. We've seen it. The 1-2, and a swing and a miss. This one is over. Kimbrel picks up the save. Boston comes all the way back tonight. They only led once. It was in the 9th inning, and they win it 6-5. Oh, tough one for the Rangers tonight. A game they felt like they had, but it goes the way of the Red Sox. And now tomorrow afternoon, the Rangers will have to win to split the 4-game series. All right, tough one tonight. Rick Renner, Pudge Rodriguez, and David Murphy back in the studio, and they'll be able to break this one down for you tonight. For Tom Grieve, Emily Jones, and our entire crew, I'm Dave Raymond, inviting you to stay with us. More Rangers coverage coming up right after this.